agriculture. Series of flash floods. The skies over Guangxi have not been kind this year. For months, rain has fallen with merciless persistence, transforming the province into a battlefield between land and water. What began as seasonal downpours swelled into an unrelenting deluge, the likes of which residents say they have not seen in decades. Rivers that once nourished communities turned against them, spilling violently over their banks, while reservoirs strained and threatened to burst. It has been one of the most punishing flood seasons in living memory, leaving towns gasping for relief as torrents tore through the heart of southern China. In Liuhe, the storm belt lashed the city with such ferocity that within a single week the skies dumped more than a meter of rain. Drainage systems gave way. Streets vanished beneath rising tides. The Lu River swelled several meters beyond its safety line, forcing thousands from their homes in a frantic evacuation. Whole districts disappeared under muddy water. Vehicles sat abandoned, swallowed to their rooftops. Shops and businesses, once bustling with life, stood silent for weeks, their doors sealed by the weight of the flood. Around the city, farmland was transformed into a vast inland sea. Rice fields, vegetable plots, and corn stretches lay submerged, their green promise erased in a matter of hours. For the families who depend on these crops, the waters did not merely drown the land. It drowned their hopes of sustenance and income for the months to come. To the south, in coastal Qinzhou and Bahai, the disaster arrived with sudden, almost biblical violence. In some townships, the skies released nearly 200 millimeters of rain in a single hour. An assault so intense it shattered defenses and triggered flash floods that ripped through entire villages. Fishing communities watched as their boats and gear were torn apart, ports rendered useless, and livelihoods washed out to sea. Roads that connect remote counties to larger urban centers collapsed under the pressure, buried in landslides or sliced in two by torrents of water. Isolation followed. For many, the only way out was by boat or helicopter, as rescue teams pushed through walls of rain to reach those stranded in the chaos. Further north, in the rugged mountains of Longshan and Ronggan, the story was written not in swollen rivers, but in earth itself. Hillsides, saturated from weeks of rain, gave way without warning. Mud and stone cascaded into valleys, erasing clusters of homes in a matter of seconds. Families fled, but not all escaped. Despite early warnings and evacuations, casualties were reported, underscoring the fragility of mountain life in the face of extreme weather. Where villages once clung to slopes, now only scars of destruction remain. Rescue crews navigated rivers choked with debris, carrying supplies to survivors and clearing paths through devastation that seemed almost insurmountable. The human cost is visible everywhere. Families huddle in makeshift shelters, clutching what little they salvage from the flood's fury. Children peer out from crowded school halls, converted into dormitories, their toys and books lost to the currents. Farmers mourn drowned livestock in pastures that became watery graves. The silence of ruined neighborhoods is broken only by the hum of emergency boats and the cries of those searching for loved ones. In tourist towns like Guilin, where vibrant markets once attracted crowds of visitors, the streets now echo with emptiness. Tourism has collapsed, dragging small businesses into despair. Economically, the toll is staggering. Fields of rice and corn left submerged for days have rotted beyond recovery. Vegetable crops are gone, livestock numbers devastated. Entire harvests, once calculated into the region's survival, are now erased from the future. Small enterprises, already fragile, have crumbled. For regional leaders, the task of rebuilding infrastructure looms like a mountain. Roads, bridges, and utilities lie in tatters, the costs of repair threatening to bankrupt local budgets. Central disaster funds have been released, but the sheer magnitude of destruction ensures that financial strain will linger long after the waters recede. Yet amid the destruction, there are glimpses of strength. The rapid mobilization of emergency services, the precision of early warning systems, informed, and the bravery of rescue teams prevented the disaster from spiraling even further out of control. Across Guangxi, volunteers worked alongside professionals, ferrying food, water, and medical supplies to those cut off by flood or landslide. Soldiers reinforced riverbanks, engineers monitored weakening dams, and shelters were kept open day and night. In the face of overwhelming forces of nature, the resilience of human effort became a fragile but vital counterweight. Still, the danger has not passed. Weather forecasts warn of more rain in the weeks ahead, and authorities remain on guard. Monitoring networks are being expanded. Sandbags and barriers line riverfronts, and reinforcements are hastily built along critical waterways. For those who have already lost everything, the fear of another storm arriving before recovery has even begun is a shadow that hangs heavy over daily life. The floods of Guangxi are more than a seasonal tragedy. They are a stark reminder of the escalating extremes of the climate. Record-breaking rainfall, fragile landscapes, and densely packed river valleys form the perfect storm for disaster. The scale of devastation illustrates a truth that can no longer be ignored. Resilience is not optional here. It is survival. As the waters slowly recede and the region begins the long process of recovery, Guangxi stands at a crossroads. Communities must rebuild not only homes and farms, but also the confidence that life can return to normal. At the same time, they must prepare for the storms yet to come, storms that may strike with even greater force in a world growing warmer and more unstable. For millions who call this land home, the floods of this year are not just a memory of loss, but a warning of the battles still ahead. And yet, amid shattered roads and waterlogged fields, hope clings stubbornly. It lingers in the resilience of families who refuse to leave their ancestral villages, in the determination of farmers who plan to sow again when the ground dries, and in the courage of rescue workers who continue despite exhaustion. Guangxi's ordeal is not only a story of disaster, it is a story of endurance, of a people who know that survival is not merely about withstanding the flood, but about rising after it. Floods in Guangxi remind us of a double-edged truth. Nature gives life, but it can also take it away. The rains brought destruction, lost crops, broken homes, disrupted lives, yet they also revealed resilience, quick responses, and the courage of ordinary people. It's like watching a river, calm and gentle one moment, then surging with unstoppable force the next. Maybe the real lesson here is this: prepare before the storm, not after. Climate extremes are no longer distant stories, they're arriving at our doorsteps. So, how do we balance living with nature while protecting ourselves from its fury? Thank you for staying with this story. If it touched you, share your thoughts below. Your ideas matter. And if you're not sure what to write, just leave comment number 1. That's enough to let us know you're here, listening, and thinking.